Is this going to be a country that I don't recognize in 5 to 10 years if we don't have these two pillars? If we don't, I mean, where are the Democrats going with this? If Mamdani is the face of the Democrats on the East Coast and Katie Porter is the face on the West Coast, I don't know if that's great politically.
It seems the socialists have officially taken the reins of the Democratic Party, with Mamdani's election as New York's mayor sealing the deal. Even the party's top leadership appears to be embracing his bold socialist agenda, a shift that could spell real trouble for the DNC. That's exactly why Maher has stepped in, positioning himself as the party's would-be savior, calling out where things went wrong and how the Democrats might still recover. Let's dive in.
It's brought up. That's who you're all going to have to answer for. So I got to get your answer. This is Mamdani. If you've been not following the news, he won the Democratic primary in New York, so he is certainly likely to be the next mayor. We don't know. I mean, there's a lot of opposition because we've never had someone this radical. Some of the things he says, prisons were obsolete. What purpose do they serve? I could think of a couple. The NYPD is racist, anti-queer, and a major threat to public safety. I think most people think cops are protecting their public safety, even though there's issues and problems with the police department. Do you like capitalism? No. We've never had a guy quite like this. You know, he quotes Marxist, each according to their need. I mean, that's straight up communism. Whether you call it the abolition of private property, you call it housing guarantees, it's preferable to what is.
Ma actually sounded the alarm about Manny months before the election, and while it's still early days, something tells me his warning is going to age like fine wine. He spotted the red flags long before anyone else did. And let's not forget, this isn't the first time Ma's political instincts have proven right. Remember when he cautioned the DNC against putting Kamala Harris forward as a presidential candidate? They brushed him off, convinced they knew better. The result? A complete political disaster, one of the most humiliating defeats in modern American history. It's almost as if the party is addicted to repeating its own mistakes. Ma's no prophet, but he's got a knack for sensing trouble long before it hits. And if his track record is any indication, Manny's rise could very well mark the next chapter in the DNC's slow-motion downfall.
Private property, not something we usually hear in America.
There's always a villain. There's people. They always try to create a villain. Is my point. They always try to create some boogeyman or boogie. No. If it wasn't this one, it was going to be somebody else.
I'm not creating anything.
I'm not defending the policies. There are plenty of things that I disagree with there, and that I don't come down on.
You're going to have to answer everything like this. They're going to ask every single Democratic politician.
But the point being, we see this every cycle. I've now been doing this long enough to know that every single cycle, there's some, contrived villain or boogeyman.
This guy completely missed Maher's point, and you can see it all over Maher's face, that mix of disbelief and irritation. Nobody's out here trying to turn Manny into some kind of boogeyman. We've made that crystal clear on this channel, time and time again. The reality is, Manny doesn't need anyone to label him a radical. His own words and policies do that just fine. Every concern Bill Maher raised about the newly elected New York mayor wasn't exaggeration or spin, it was grounded in Manny's own statements and political blueprint. When a politician openly promotes ideas that challenge the very foundation of American capitalism, of course people are going to talk, and they should. Maher's just holding up a mirror, showing the left what it refuses to see. And if that reflection makes Manny look like a boogeyman, well, that's on him.
He's going to be the mayor of New York.
The thing that I find the most appalling, which is that he defends the expression globalize the Intifada.
Yes, correct.
Which explicitly means, and I don't want to hear anyone deny this, everything that the crazy far right alleged about Barack Obama, wasn't born in America, right. Islamist, socialist,
right.
Anti-Semite, hates America, it's all true about this guy.
Right.
Okay? It is all true about this guy. And the fact that this man is on the verge of becoming the mayor of the second largest Jewish city in the world is very frightening. And I'm actually really disappointed that more Democrats have either, are not coming out and condemning him and saying we're not going to endorse this guy because he is beyond the pale.
Maher called it long before the results were in. He knew Mamdani was going to win, and he was absolutely right. The signs were all there, the media hype, the progressive wave, and the party's steady drift toward the far left. But Maher didn't just predict Manny's victory, he warned that his rise could spell trouble for the Democratic Party's future. And honestly, I couldn't agree more. Sure, capitalism has its flaws, no system is perfect, but socialism isn't the miracle cure the left makes it out to be. It sounds noble in theory, all about equality and fairness, until reality kicks in, innovation stalls, jobs disappear, and government control seeps into every part of daily life. Maher understands that a shift towards socialism isn't progress, it's a slow unraveling of the very foundation that built America's strength. And if the DNC doesn't wake up soon, it might be too late.
Is founded on, one is democracy and one is capitalism, free markets. And it seems like one party wants to get rid of one and the other party wants to get rid of the other, right? The Republicans are not that, democracy is just not number one on their list. It just isn't. It isn't. It's behind Christianity and a few other things. And the Democrats, I mean, I read these 74% are for democratic socialism. Only 16%
And that pretty much sums up how Manny, with all his Marxist soundbites and unapologetically socialist leanings, managed to climb his way to the top of the DNC ticket. The Democrats aren't just flirting with socialism anymore, they're embracing it. The shift is unmistakable. What was once a coalition of moderates and progressives has morphed into a movement dominated by self-proclaimed socialists who see capitalism as the problem and redistribution as the cure. It's no longer about reforming the system, it's about replacing it entirely. And while the party's old guard might still act like everything's business as usual, it's only a matter of time before they either adapt or get pushed out. The winds of ideological change are sweeping through the Democratic ranks, and Manny is just the first wave of a movement that could redefine, or even unravel, the DNC as we know it.
country that I don't recognize in 5 to 10 years if we don't have these two pillars. If we don't, I mean, where are the Democrats going with this? If Mamdani is the face of the Democrats on the East Coast and Katie Porter is the face on the West Coast, I don't know if that's great politically for that party.
No, this isn't good for the party, and it's certainly not good for America. With Mamdani's rise on the East Coast and Katie Porter's growing influence out west, the Democratic Party is steering into dangerous waters. This isn't just political imbalance, it's a recipe for national instability. America thrives when both major parties hold each other accountable, when they offer competing ideas grounded in reason, not ideology. We need a strong Democratic Party, one that challenges the GOP through logic and leadership, not by imitating the failed experiments of socialism. The DNC can reclaim that role, but only if it rediscovers its core principles: freedom, pragmatism, and balance. Right now, it's abandoning all three in favor of radical slogans and emotional politics. If this trajectory continues, it won't just weaken the DNC, it could erode the very balance that keeps America's democracy strong.
It's definitely it's the media capital, the financial capital. It is a bellwether like no other city is in this country. So don't tell me that who the mayor of New York is doesn't matter.
Let me play devil's advocate for a second. Do you think, let's say, on the seize the means of production, do you think that the mayor, that one person, if he is a democratic socialist, do you think that he would have the power and influence to be able to, usher in socialism?
He definitely has the power and influence to elect J.D. Vance or whoever is the Republican.
Maher firmly believes that Mamdani's election all but guarantees a GOP victory in the next national race, and honestly, he might be onto something. Sure, it's still early, and anything can happen in politics, but Maher has a keen eye for trends. His reasoning is simple: middle America isn't buying into the socialist experiment. These are hardworking Americans who believe in capitalism, not because it's flawless, but because they've seen what happens when governments try to replace it with state control and forced redistribution. They know that socialism may sound compassionate in theory but proves disastrous in practice: higher taxes, fewer jobs, and dwindling incentives to work and innovate. So if the DNC keeps drifting left under figures like Manny, it's essentially handing the next election to the GOP on a silver platter. Maher's warning isn't paranoia, it's political foresight.
The Republicans are going to...
When you let the Democrat socialists, and now they're actually calling themselves socialists, when you let them take over a major American city, this is what you get. the state-run grocery stores, which worked so well in Cuba and the Soviet Union and Venezuela. Just bad ideas. And again, this ugly streak.
Well, you look
ugly streak.
Ma once warned that nominating Kamala Harris would be the political equivalent of handing the presidency to Donald Trump. As we all saw, he wasn't wrong. At the time, few took him seriously. His warnings were dismissed as cynical or exaggerated. Now, history seems to be repeating itself. Maher is sounding the alarm again, this time over Mamdani's rise to power. He believes Mamdani's election could set the stage for a Republican landslide in 2028, and once again, people are shrugging it off. But Maher has a proven track record of spotting political disasters before they hit. He understands voter psychology and Americans' resistance to far-left ideology. Ignoring his warnings twice would be nothing short of political negligence. If the DNC doesn't learn from the past, it could be handing the next election, and the White House, straight back to the GOP.
AOC? I don't know.
One of, but who's, Bernie is, Bernie is, I mean, he's not a capitalist,
No, he's not. And he's also not president.
But
never would be.
But neither is Mamdani.
No, but he will, trust me, he will be featured in the campaign commercials.
But they're going to feature people, they boogeyman everybody.
Yeah, but you don't have to boogeyman him. He does it to himself.
But they'll do it regardless. Nancy Pelosi, Hillary Clinton, Gavin Newsom.
Yeah, but
they make anybody into boogeyman.
It has.
I think it was
just have more weight when it's real.
Now, all the names the guest mentioned, Nancy Pelosi, Gavin Newsom, and AOC, weren't turned into boogeymen out of thin air. They earned their reputations the hard way. Pelosi, for instance, became a symbol of political hypocrisy after years of benefiting from insider trading while serving as speaker, with her financial gains and questionable stock dealings raising serious ethical red flags. Then there's Gavin Newsom, whose leadership has turned California into a cautionary tale, rampant homelessness, soaring living costs, and an exodus of residents fleeing his failed policies. And of course, AOC, the face of modern woke politics, whose performative activism often overshadows practical solutions. So no, the GOP didn't invent these criticisms, these figures handed them ammunition on a silver platter. When politicians repeatedly act in ways that betray public trust, it's not demonization, it's accountability. And that's exactly what Maher has been pointing out all along.
Talking about how government tries to do too much, which it does, and spends too much. And here you have Trump, who is the Republican, who is aggrandizing more power than anybody, as we just talked about. And on the other side, you have the guy running in New York, Mamdani, right? Okay, who's like a straight-up communist. I mean, he is. He talks about, the things that communists say. I mean, he wants free grocery stores, free buses.
I want him to win.
You want him to win?
Yeah. I think every 20 years or so.
Wait.
We need every 20 years or so, we need a conspicuous, confined experiment with socialism so we can crack it up again. Socialist slogan used to be, workers of the world unite, you have nothing to lose but your chains. The new socialist slogan is, trust us, this time it won't be a mess.
That's absolutely true. Many socialists have quietly realized that their ideals don't work in the real world. But instead of abandoning ship, they're trying to repaint it, rebranding socialism with buzzwords like equity, social justice, and economic fairness, hoping no one notices it's the same failed ideology dressed in modern packaging. History has already spoken. Every country that attempted full-blown socialism ended up with economic collapse, government overreach, and widespread poverty. Meanwhile, capitalism, flawed as it is, has consistently driven innovation, lifted billions out of poverty, and rewarded hard work. It's not perfect, but it's by far the best system we have. The sooner the left stops trying to rewrite economic history and starts embracing pragmatic capitalism again, the better their chances of rebuilding credibility and public trust. Maher's warnings aren't just political commentary, they're lessons in paying attention to reality. From Kamala Harris to Mamdani, his track record demonstrates the consequences of ignoring ideological extremes. Socialism, repackaged or not, has repeatedly failed in practice. Capitalism continues to drive prosperity and innovation, and the DNC risks losing its way if it abandons its principles. Recognizing these lessons early is crucial for the party, for voters, and for the future of American politics. And that brings us to the end of today's video. If you enjoyed it, hit the like button and subscribe for more content like this. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next